In this video, we'll talk about penetration testing. Penetration testing is simply often referred to as a pen test. However, it's not the same as a vulnerability scan. With a vulnerability scan, we scan a host or a network to identify weaknesses, but none of those weaknesses get exploited. Well, with a pen test, we are exploiting the weaknesses to see what the reaction is from those systems. So, really, a pen test is testing to discover weaknesses and then exploiting those weaknesses. It can be applied to a network. A pen test could be for a specific host or even just a specific application as part of the application lifecycle. There need to be rules of engagement prior to engaging in penetration testing because we have to think about the impact or effect on production systems if the pen test is done on live production systems. We don't want a pen test to bring down a mission critical component that is required for business without thinking about it first and getting the proper permission. So we might consider then having a separate testing environment, which may or may not be virtualized. We also have to think about the duration of the penetration test. Will it be hours? Will it be days? Will it be weeks? The key here is to think of these things ahead of time prior to the pen test. There might also need to be the signature of non disclosure agreements because a penetration test potentially could uncover very sensitive information that the data owners thought was protected and would not be unveiled through a pen test. There also needs to be a testing schedule that is set ahead of time. Now, in some rare cases, a pen test schedule might not be known by the network or data owners, and that's part of the point of the pen test is you never really know when malicious users will strike. However, we might have a testing schedule that is known by all parties that might take place after hours. With penetration testing, we can have various teams. A red team, for instance, would be the team that would attack an IT system, whereas a blue team would defend IT systems. The white team would be used to identify weaknesses and then report them instead of exploiting them. Now, this might be a hybrid of internal personnel, IT technicians, and an external pen test team, or it could be completely done externally, or you might only use a portion of these types of teams. The idea is that a pen test is a live attack and defense exercise where we would involve multiple teams should we choose to use them. We could also use tabletop or whiteboard exercises to step through an attack and the mitigations against it to stop it. With white box testing, it is a pen test that gets run with full knowledge of the IT system being tested. Now, gray box testing is a pen test that's being conducted with only partial knowledge of an IT system. Now, that could mirror, for example, a malicious user that's done some reconnaissance and learned a little bit and inferred a little bit about how an IT system is configured. Black box testing is a pen test where there is no knowledge at all of an IT system. Now, for a hardened environment, reconnaissance might not reveal much of anything useful to an attacker. So we can look at the various types of tests that we can be conducting against our networks, hosts, or apps from various perspectives. There's also the aspect of social engineering, which can also be a part of a pen test. It doesn't all have to be technical tools. Social engineering is tricking people into somehow providing sensitive information they otherwise normally wouldn't provide. That might be in the form of, during a pen test, part of the team calling up end users pretending to be part of the help desk to retrieve sensitive information. In this video, we talked about penetration testing.